I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music and part 3 of our interview with the great Caleb Quaye. For those not familiar with Caleb Quaye, he played on 7 Elton John albums, including his very first Empty Sky in 1969. Some of the highlights, the self-titled album in 1970, Tumbleweed Connection the same year, and then Madman Across the Water in 1971. He came back in 75 to join a new Elton John band for Rock of the Westies and Blue Moves. He's appeared on albums by Jennifer Holliday, Bernie Taupin, Elton John's songwriting partner, Beach Boys' Bruce Johnston, Brenda Russell, Keb Mo, Lou Reed, Dusty Springfield, Daryl Hall and John Oates, including Daryl Hall's solo albums, Liza Minnelli, Joan Baez, Harry Nilsson, Yvonne Elliman, and many more. He's one heck of a guitarist. On this edition of our interview with Caleb Quaye, we talk about the new rendition of Tiny Dancer, which was originally on Madman Across the Water from Elton John. The new version with Britney Spears is called Hold Me Closer. It's produced by Andrew Watt and Circuit, and it has lots of thoughts about the special guitar that Caleb contributed to the original song. Andrew says we were able to mix and rearrange the original strings, guitar, piano, and background vocals from Tiny Dancer. But we stumbled upon this amazing guitar part that I didn't even know was in the song. It's not a prominent part of the original production, so we used that as the basis for the beginning of Hold Me Closer, and we built around it. We had it playing on a loop while Watts started playing bass and I programmed the drums. Speaking of Caleb Quaye's guitar part, Watts says, it literally sounded like Hendrix. I was like, what the bleep is this? Is this actually Hendrix? Was he even alive then? I FaceTimed Elton and played it for him, and he was like, that is amazing. That's not the words he used. And I said, give me a couple hours. I just got really inspired. Madman Across the Water was released a little over a year after Jimi Hendrix died, and it certainly is Caleb Quaye. With Tiny Dancer. My God. As soon as I saw that, I went, oh my God, I got it. This is too good. I mean, this is a moment of going, look at that. There's a light not only shining on Elton and Britney Spears, but the fact that this producer found what was kind of hidden that you had created. I've got goosebumps. I swear to God, right now, I've got goosebumps. No, it's that good. I'm going, shining a light on you. I mean, that's gotta feel nice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it just completely, I had no idea that was taking place. Nobody had contacted me or anything like that. Not that they would even have to, but that was just a total surprise out of left field, which to me is just a blessing. It's just a blessing. It just, all of a sudden it's like, so a whole new generation of folks is going to be, it's going to be liking my guitar playing, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Do you remember how many takes did you do that in? Do you remember that song?
I do. We didn't. It wasn't done in a lot of takes. Maybe 3-4 takes at the most. We didn't, because there was Roger Pope playing drums, Dave Glover, who was hookfoot bass player. So it's basically Elton, at least the rhythm section. The strings were put on afterwards. So it's basically Elton and hookfoot laying down the rhythm track. Well, again, you're talking strong chemistry. We didn't know the song before we got in the studio. So it was one of those things, he played it down in the studio, we gather around the piano, figure out what we're going to do. And within 3 or 4 takes, it's done.
But the producer says, wait a minute, was Hendrix still alive? This sounds like it. I love
that. Me too. I love it, because in terms of influences, my guitar playing in those days and on that particular track, that particular recording, my 2 major influences would have been, number one, Steve Cropper from Memphis, Booker T and the MGs, and Hendrix. So what you hear me doing on that, I'm doing Steve Cropper and I'm doing Hendrix. I'm just throwing that into the song.
Someone resent me that video we did together. I think the first or second one. I'm not sure which one it was, where you say, I'm basically doing Steve Cropper there. And someone, I'd forgotten about that. Someone resent me my own video.
Yeah. I love that. The Cropper, I can boil it down for you. The Cropper stuff is in the instrumental bridge of that song. And you hear this guitar going, da 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 da. That's Steve Cropper. That's just stole it from Steve Cropper. That was just big, And then the other lick, which they got from, for now the Hold Me Closer thing, is in like the verses part of the song.
And how does that go? Can you?
That's little lick, da-da-da-da-da-dang, something like that.
Yeah.
Just a very simple lick, but the tone and the way it's played, it's me trying to do Hendrix.
Have you ever done gigs through the years where they didn't pay you?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Everyone says the same thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've interviewed someone who hasn't said. Everyone says the same thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess that's a certain part of the business.
Yeah, it's called, what do we used to call it? Paying your dues.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's that's the thing that I think is missing from a lot of today's young musicians because of things like American Idol and stuff like that. It's like they come out of nowhere. They haven't done any, they haven't paid their dues, and then they're on TV in a talent show hoping to win the jackpot. And there's no like integrity back there. There's no experience of hardship and stuff back there, which you have to go through.
There's a lady I interviewed last year, just haphazardly. There's a Canadian band called Honeymoon Suite, and they've had quite a few hits in the country. And I noticed a drum kit behind me, like I do. And I said, "Do you play drums as well?" So my daughter, Leah Marlene. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Is she any good?" So he sent me some stuff, and I went, "I'm going to interview her for my Canadian channel." So she came in second this year, and Leah's been playing since she's been this high. But she's actually an exception to the rule because a lot of them are like, "Oh, I think my Aunt Betty told me I can sing."
Yeah, right.
And I'm really cute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The cute thing.
Want to tell you that Caleb Quay's book is now re-released, A Voice Louder Than Rock and Roll, about his stints with so many different musicians, most notably, of course, Elton John. We'll have more of our interview with Caleb Quay the next few days. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. And remember the 2 Ps if you want to support our channel. We have Patreon, where you get early access to all our videos. And if you want to make a donation, there's a PayPal link at the very top of the description. This is Rock History Music.